We got some brackets cut this week though, and it has been absolutely amazing to have the CNC table. Last night, I kind of went out on the limb and designed up what should be our drive shaft loop. I don't really want to say it's a drive shaft safety loop because we're not racing and we don't really have to have one, but it's what's going to tie the two B pillars together right here. So if it takes a hit from the side in a T-bone situation, it helps from collapsing the car. That's the whole point of this kind of safety loop. Also, if the drive shaft does break, hopefully it doesn't destroy the sheet metal. And hopefully what will happen is if it breaks off, that it will either stay within the tunnel, or if it goes down low, it will just sling completely out the car and go down the road and not tear the living piss out of all of our sheet metal work, because that's way more precious than a stupid drive shaft. I cut this Friday morning in a rush while I was untaping one in the booth. And I got a little cleaning up to do that I did not do at the shop. So this is how they come out with slag. I got to do some research on how to get it where it's not so much slag on the parts. But it's working perfectly fine for us. We knock the slag off and clean it up with a grinder and it's good to go. Now this is going to fit our tube to go through there. We cut a bunch of them. All these pieces right here are for this one drive shaft safety loop. I think I'm going to list this thing on eBay, probably about 125, 150 bucks. Should be a pretty cool piece, and it don't have to have the circles in it, but I figured that it would just look cooler with them in there and not look so boring. I don't know if it really loses any strength with the circles in it. I mean, not a ton. It's going to be boxed in, you'll see. And then we got these pieces that we cut for Mike, Uncle Mike, for race car tubes. So where you cap a tube, a lot of people just use washers, so he actually has pucks now. So we got to get all these pieces cleaned up before we get started. That bag's got to go to Uncle Mike. Man. Dude, this is dirty. This is dirty back here. It has been a minute since we visited this. When is the last time we were back here? Christmas we worked up front. I think it was right before Christmas. This was probably closer to Thanksgiving is when we were back here last. So we got some work to do. Thank God for all of our Clecos that we have, and our screws, because none of this stuff is moved around. I am seeing that there is a gap on this panel over here. That's like 1/4 of an inch, maybe 3/8. Don't know why that's there. I don't remember if I left that there or if something has moved. We need to build another panel over here on this side, and we need to take all of this tray out up here and final spot weld this top piece to this, and then attach this pan to sides. Previous videos, we caught up all the rockers, and it's nice that now they're done. It did take a lot of work though. We caught up the B pillars. We do want to tie the B pillar bar in. We might go ahead and do that first before we move to the back. And we just want to catch up. We're tying bars in, we're tying this thing together, and basically we're trying to get the interior. It is basically done, okay? I have told my upholstery guy that I would have this thing good for interior by the end of the summer. He had 2 cars on the books, and his next available spot was pretty much the end of the summer. And I was like, let's go ahead and just count on this car. Well, I guess in order to work the back areas, we need to go ahead and pull these fenders off. So I like having fenders on because it gives you a feeling of completion. You can see the car. It keeps you motivated. When you have a car in 100 pieces, it really can bog you down. So sometimes it just helps to kind of have your project mocked up, where when you come out and look at it, you can see the vision, you can see the body lines, you can see everything that you're chasing. But with us needing to work up in here, and we got some welding to do, the fenders are gonna have to come off, unfortunately, I think. And they might as well go in storage, because the next thing we'll be doing is putting the rear end. Hopefully Uncle Mike gets the rear end done soon, and we'll need to set the rear axle. All right, so as we get done with these things, I'm putting a light dusting of this weld-through primer over everything. If this was on top of the car, I'd probably remove it, and I would go with like a sealer primer, or etching primer, or something, epoxy primer. Different options, but being this is all under the car, this is all going to either get a single stage paint like an ALK 200, already know where we're going, or this is going to get Raptor liner. Probably going to get an ALK 200 single stage, just so that if we have to do any modifications in the future, we can grind the single stage off. Whereas if we go with a bed liner is way harder to grind off and takes way more work, and it is very messy. And it's near impossible to touch up where you don't tell. If we do a gloss black single stage underneath this car and we need to do any welding or grind anything off for any reason, and we touch anything up, we just do a black spray paint. Super simple, super easy. So you gotta know kind of all of your steps so you kind of know what route to take. But being this thing should be done, I don't really want to deal with flash rust or anything. But I also don't want to commit to an epoxy primer or a self-etching primer or nothing, because you can't weld through that. If I need to go underneath the car and tack on another cross member or tack on a tab or something onto this metal, the weld-through primer will allow me to do that. All right, so what is next is to figure out this fuel cell. So we know it's gonna go somewhere around here. It overhung this side by just a little bit, but was basically flush. So we're just gonna cheat it over a little bit. We're not too worried about exactly where to mount it as far as forward and backwards, because it's gonna be rails welded through here like this also. So the reason why when we were talking in the past about this oil canning, when I welded it, it does have a little bit oil canning over there on that side. I just checked. However, it don't matter, because once we lock these rails in like this, it ain't going nowhere. We want this solid structure to be very tough. If this thing is full, this is a lot of weight on this fuel cell, and if you get in an accident, we don't need this going through the back seat, okay? So very important for us to put time into this panel. That's another reason why we're building this panel on the bench, and then we will go stitch it into the car. This panel also not only welds in at the tubs, but it's got 4 bolts, as you've seen when I was removing earlier, that bolt down to the main frame. So this panel bolts to the frame, this will bolt to this panel. This thing should still be in the car. If you roll it 9 times, my goal is that this thing will still be attached. I'm also going to possibly put the air compressors on here too. We're gonna see if we have enough room for that. And we ordered this way back on, I think, Black Friday sale. We have not opened it or even checked it. This is the first time. Oh, that is awesome. It comes with some lines. It's perfect. I was literally about to order lines to start testing the airbags. Now I don't have to. We ordered dual compressors. So this is what we got, the Gen 2s, Platinums. This should be plenty for what we need. So I'm kind of either thinking one on each side or both of them together. So we definitely got height, which is perfect, because we have a little room, and I didn't mock this up in the car. But that's perfect. That's perfect size. Originally, we were going to put the battery up here, but the battery is just too big, too tall with the terminals and stuff to fit up here. It's just not going to happen. We're probably going to have to hang it off the side of the frame rail under the car or something somewhere, maybe even put it in the trunk. Not sure on the battery location yet, but the compressors, I think that's where it's going to be at. We'll still be able to access the plugs right here without unbolting them, and yeah, that'll be nice. So now we just decide, do we put them all on one side together, which I think is the cleanest, or do we put them on opposite sides so that it looks symmetrical? This is where, again, you have to know what you're planning. So when you open the trunk, we said that our fuel cell is going to be up here, of course, and yes, it would look clean, fuel cell, air compressor, but we were talking about making a trim panel so that this trunk is closed off so you don't see none of that. It would be a panel that kind of covers all that up, magnetic, Velcro, whatever, and then you don't see none of that. I think that's going to be cleaner than seeing it, and it's just going to be a square, so it's not like it's going to be hard for my upholstery guy. So with that being said, I don't think we should go with symmetrical, okay? I think we should go with ease of plumbing and tying stuff together. And ease would mean dual compressors on that side, fuel tank on this side, because we also have the hose attachment from the filler neck that's got to come into the fuel cell approximately right here. We just now have to see if we have enough room, because we don't want the fuel cell to go past these bolts right here, because you have to be able to undo these bolts to take the body of the car off the frame. So with that said, this is how it's going to be. This is going to work great. We're far enough off to still get our rubber plugs in here. We can get our feet where they'll bolt down. We'll just run us one cross member between here to secure that side, and one cross member on this side to secure this side, so that it all ties together. And then these, we'll just put the two back feet through the cross member that runs like this right here. So we'll catch all these feet through there. And then the fronts will just be through the sheet metal, and it'll be perfectly fine. Won't be an issue at all. We don't know where the cell is going to bolt down yet, because it's pretty important when it's back in the car to get it perfect with the back seat when it's folded up. So that's the reason why I said it's kind of going to be on a sliding system. So now that we know left to right, all we have to do is run our rails in here. We can go ahead and get them 100% put in. We'll hold off, I guess, on drilling the little holes for the feet, because I have to build them tabs. We can do that in the car. We should be able to fit a drill up in there, I hope. And we'll just go ahead and take care of drilling the holes for the compressor, marking them, because that is 2, 4, 6, 8 holes that we got to drill on this. All right, to attach these, they come with these little Phillips head screws right here that go down through there and get bolted. We're not going to through bolt them though. So we're going to put them in nut certs. So here's a large one. If you don't know what it is, this is a nut cert. Basically, you drill a hole, put this in there, okay, and then we'll pull it together with a tool, and it's a threaded nut into the sheet metal, okay? So now you don't have to through bolt anything. Nobody has to be under the car. This will go right through there, and it'll clamp it. So to figure out what size hole we need to drill, what I always personally do is I have a chart here with different holes. I just take my nut certs, fit them in. That's going to be a 9/32 hole. 9/32 drill bit. Let's drill all 8 of these holes, load this up in a tool, and let's crimp one. All we're going to do, take our tool. We have our 9/32 end piece in there. We're going to load one of the riv nuts, or nut certs, whatever you want to call them. Push it down in there. And we got ourselves a thread-in nut cert. I love them things. We put them things all over the race car. All right, so we go ahead and bolt them up too. Trust me, you don't want to be bent over inside the trunk of this car trying to line these bolts up and then find out that you accidentally drilled one a little crooked or whatever, and it's not going to work. So all of these are on there. They're not tight. They're just snugged up. And if it's perfect, it's beautiful. Absolutely freaking beautiful. I'm thinking we should be able to probably put relays and battery terminals and everything that has to do with these electrical right here. being when you pop the trunk, you're going to have your fuse panel right here, and then the compressors will be right up here. So it should be very easy, short shot to get the electrical to. We can put one hot terminal that will tie them together, it looks like, and one ground piece that will tie them together, and we should be solid.
I'm gonna check mine and I don't this sticker.
Where's all your paper at? There's some paper in here. Get it out and trash it.
Nice.
Oh, look. Here. All right, so done with our bottom piece. Turned out amazing. This thing is absolutely freaking solid. I mean, this top platform is gonna have absolutely no issues at all with strength. We've got all the joints welded in. They're not beautiful joints at all. They're all welded in, tied together. So this is boxed in, squared, everything, man. This is just gonna be a really solid piece. I think that's everything we can do to the bottom of this. This bottom is done. Like it is done. This is the last time we'll have to work on this. So we can now put this back in the car. We're not gonna worry with our frame rails as far as welding them up final. We've got them welded in really good. We'll do all that when the body comes off the car. We'll do the final welding and grinding everything out. I'll sit it back on there, make sure we get the rubber spacers on it, and then we're gonna go ahead and spot weld this bad boy into our inner fenders.
It's right by the wood. Right by wood over here. Visible. It's right by my left. Wait, did you already pop back the glue?
Can you hand me them wrenches in the back of the car?
One more.
Can you hand me them wrenches and sockets back there?
This one.
Yep.
Here.
The other one too?
What, this one?
Yep.
You don't mess with it too cool. Long off.
Well, we aren't working on the car this morning. I got lucky enough, as every man, that I took lunch yesterday and was able to have the wife finally give me the honey to-do list of a screened-in back porch. So that's what we are working on this morning. I literally was working on the car. I paused to eat, and it was like 3 o'clock, and I was like, I looked at the wife, and I was like, we could be popping nails and cutting with saws right now, but you haven't gave me permission to start the porch. So here we are Sunday morning. We started this Saturday about 3 o'clock, right, Harper? And here we are Sunday morning. We're gonna get back on this and not touch the car today.